Hello and welcome to the day ahead. It's Wednesday, October the 8th. I'm Andrew Gagan. Well, the local share market is set to open marginally lower with ASX futures down just 1 point. Global equity markets came under selling pressure overnight, with investors opting for caution amid political upheaval in France, Japan and the US government shutdown showing no sign of ending. Stocks on Wall Street closed lower, particularly in the absence of economic data, and as a consumer expectations survey from the New York Fed showed deteriorating future expectations and rising inflation projections. Tesla shares extended their losses after the EV maker unveiled its low-cost Model Y, priced just below $40,000, the starting price around 11% cheaper than its base model. Dell nearly doubled its annual profit growth target for the next 4 years, betting on strong demand for its servers that power AI workloads for customers such as Elon Musk's AI startup xAI and CoreWeave. A report that Oracle's profit margin in its cloud computing business may not be as strong as expected saw the company's stock tumble. AMD advanced after Jefferies upgraded the stock rating to a buy after the chipmaker's supply deal with OpenAI, which bolstered the tech rally. Australian-based Bitcoin miner Iron fell after it announced a planned $875 million convertible bond sale. Corona beer maker Constellation Brands gained after posting a smaller than expected drop in second quarter sales. IBM rose after the company announced a partnership with AI startup Anthropic. US listed shares Trilogy soared after the White House said it would take a 10% stake in the company. AppLovin surged, recouping nearly half its losses from the prior session following news of the US Securities and Exchange Commission probe into its data collection practices. And US listed shares of James Hardie have soared after the building materials company reported preliminary second quarter net sales ahead of analyst estimates. Well, Americans grew more worried about the future of the jobs market last month, according to a report from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. It also revealed that consumer expectations of inflation a year from now have risen to 3.4% from 3.2%, while 3-year ahead inflation expectations are steady at 3%. Meanwhile, Federal Reserve Governor Stephen Miron has said that the bond market's current relative calm supports a push to lower interest rates aggressively, saying, "I would actually argue that the bond market behaviour last year bore out my argument, and this year, thus far, it is again supporting my argument for a swift pace of easing." Well, US yields declined on a sign of improving demand, with investors also snapping up 3-year notes at an auction, the US 2-year Treasury yield falling to 3.56%, the 10-year down to 4.11%. And the US dollar index is up around 0.5% on the day, the Aussie dollar having fallen back to 65.8 US cents. Oil prices have steadied as investors weigh a smaller than expected increase to OPEC Plus output in November against signs of a potential global supply glut. Brent crude futures at $65 a barrel. The copper price has surged 4%, while iron ore is unchanged at $103 a tonne, and US gold futures have eclipsed $4,000 per ounce for the first time, driven by expectations of a rate cut later this month and safe haven demand amid the US government shutdown. Spot gold is around $3,985 an ounce, and Bitcoin has fallen back to around $122,000 US. Quiet on the data docket today, but on the corporate calendar, AGMs are expected for Redux and Transurban. That is your day ahead. See you again tomorrow.